In the darkest of nights, when the moon's up high, there's a man with a talent, a spark in his eye. He's got a wicked creation that's one of a kind. With his 3D printer, he'll blow your mind. Frightful Forge, his name speaks for itself, printing monsters and ghouls straight out of hell. From skeletons to witches, his designs are supreme. In the realm of horror, he reigns supreme. Frightful Forge, he's the master of fright. With his 3D prints, he'll keep you up all night. Spooky creatures crawling out of his machine. Frightful Forge, the Halloween scene's new king. TV's new king. Twitch.tv/Frightful Forge.
Hey everyone, I hope I'm not muted this time for the first time. Huzzah. Welcome to Laughing Corpses, a 5e live play podcast with a truly remarkable group of people with a very unique set of characters. We've been doing one-shots leading up to the big collective game, and tonight will be the last of these one-shots. If you want to go back, you can go back and see any of the one-shots on Gamersledge, the Gamersledge YouTube, and we are looking at starting the collective group really soon. But until then, let's introduce our players. How's it going, everybody?
Yay!
Blur.
Yay!
Ooh.
So what I'd like to do is I would like to go to my next to me, that there.
You just reached into Shank.
I did reach into Shank.
I'm used to it.
We're gonna start with Mark and then go around in a circle. We'll end with Trav. And if you could just say who you are, who you're playing, and then we will get into it.
Hi, everybody. I'm Mark. My camera's not working, so instead you get South Park version of me, and I'm playing Norit, which is a human chef.
My name is Megan, and I'm going to be playing a pixie named Una.
Who's
a sorcerer.
Right.
Sorcerer, yeah. Yep.
My turn?
Yep.
Hello, I'm Tyler. I'm playing a bugbear monk named Kuruk.
Since you Shank.
Hey everybody, I am Shank. I am playing Sibo Bottle Pop, the Goblin Alchemist.
Hey, I'm Andres. I'm going to be playing a Harangan cleric named Arandi.
Hey everyone, I'm Justin. I'm going to be playing a Warforged Ranger named Silas. And I am the Crow Dad, also known as Travis. And I will be playing a Thrycreen fighter named Keck.
Okay. The only person we're missing tonight from this is Naomi, and she'll be playing a tiefling bard barbarian named Prudence. And so tonight is the backstory adventure. We've been doing these backstory kind of one shots, focusing on each of the characters so that the players can get a feeling for their own character and the team can get a feel for the character that is going to be in the group. And tonight is Una, our pixie sorcerer, played by Megan. So, does anybody have any comments or questions before we start?
Yes,
Is
hello. My name is Arkan. Oh, sorry, everybody. Wrong studio. I'm down the hall.
Wrong studio. Jerk. Okay. We open with a fade from black into a brilliantly colored sky. It's light blue, hardly any clouds, just interspersed here and there, but what we do see are sparks of violent and bright light shooting back and forth as we pan down over the battlefield. There is a fairly large forest that is set right against the ocean to the right, and across this wasteland of combat, we see plains, and on the other side of the plains, it gets into a murky swamp like landscape beyond. Above each side of the battlefield, there are a hovering set of eyes glowing. The one across from us is shifting ever so softly between white and black. The one up and behind our point of view is shifting between greens and blues, hanging in that area of turquoise that is both and neither. Seeing the flashes of light play out, different moving creatures of various sizes across the battlefield here and there, being born into existence and dying moments later, we travel down to see where the warlord, where the battlesmith of this side of the battle is sitting perched on her barricade with other people around her kind of helping her decide which forces go where. This is an unnamed planeswalker. Her hair pulled up tight in a brown bun, blue and green and gold armor with a lot of tiny filigree, sharply pointed ears, and she is pulling creatures in with summons and pushing out just her will across the battlefield. Off to her right, we see a minotaur stomping past huge battle axe as he almost immediately gets swarmed by catfolk diving out of the tall plains grasses on the other side of the battlefield. In amongst these larger attacking creatures, we see a handful of pixies sprout into being. Una, what do you look like right now? Like, this is your early days, your happy-go-lucky days. You probably have only been summoned a handful of times into battle. While you probably don't have the big picture of what the battle is for, when you're summoned, you get the instructions: go forth, cause mischief. So, what do you look like at this point?
I haven't really thought about it. I guess she's like full of energy and excited for um, new experiences, what might come.
Okay.
what kind of wings does she have?
Yeah, when you picture her, what kind of wings is she sporting?
Are they more like dragonflies or butterflies or?
I liked the
Well,
ones that were more like dragonflies that are kind of like long and droopy
Mhm.
looking.
Okay. Do you have horns at this point? Do you
Oh
have...
yeah, she has like the wider like goat type of horns,
Okay.
and then I think she had like the goat or like fawn type of legs.
Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. When she's still in the early days, she hasn't come full into her sorcery yet. It's mostly just pixie power, right? But do you see her entering battle with any weapons or armor? Or is she pretty much just pushing forth with normal pixie magic?
Just YOLOing.
Just yellowing, yeah.
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I didn't really depict her with armor later, so I guess it would make sense that she doesn't have any now.
Yeah, I mean, and the cool part, so folks that may not have watched previous episodes, this too is a character that comes from the worlds of Magic the Gathering, which is a setting in D&D 5e as well. And so the designs of a lot of these pixies, for example, kind of are molded by the artists that are drawing them in that field. And pixies in all of the colors where pixies show up, all of the different mana types, there is a variable cornucopia of options. They all look a little bit different, and that's what people are. That's what you're seeing right now, is this kind of swarm of pixies and small fae are kind of moving across the field, zipping back and forth, trying to stay out of some of the more wild magic spells. But I mean, you're small, and some of those spells are big. And you make it about halfway across the field before fire just... and not only burns through you, dissipating you into atoms and depositing you back into the Fey realms, but everything that was in that path, all the way back to the forested area. You're back home. It is an area of the Fae that is mostly mushrooms and illuminated like bioluminescence. You can see the sky peeking through canopies a little bit, but that hurt. That fire hurt. And you're back from where you started, and you can remember little bits about being summoned, but not a lot. Sitting across from you, because you find yourself kind of pushing up from and waking up from a collapsed area of toadstools, there are 2 other pixies. Does anybody want to play 2 other pixies for a short RP session? Okay. Cool. Tyler and Justin. Tyler, what is your pixie's name?
Oh man, that's is it too cheesy to just name him Ty?
I like it. Ty.
All right.
and Justin, what about you? You're muted.
I'll be Mirko, like Mirko.
Mirko, like it. Okay. You 3 have just returned to the Fey realm of Arcanus, which is where you were from before you were summoned. You were all summoned into the same battle and had kind of been talking each other up, like, yeah, we've got this, before almost immediately getting burned. I mean, you were 0-1 pixies.
Quite literally.
So, yeah.
Well, I thought we were gonna last a little bit longer than that. I'm surprised that it got lit quite quickly.
Ow. Like rubbing my arm, just like singed. Not really, but feeling singed.
Yeah, you're all back to relative health. The area around you, It's almost like you're sitting on wet pop rocks as the magic is kind of leeching, the summoning magic that deposited you back here is leeching away from you. You're not sure what chooses you. It's almost like a roll of the dice that picks you out of this realm when somebody casts a summoning. But you also, none of you are really familiar with how that form of arcanum works.
Well, I'm glad we all got picked together, but that would have been scary to do alone.
It was quick, but definitely spooky. I'm with you there. I'm glad we all got to go together.
What are your thoughts,
Man.
Nina?
I feel like maybe it was more violent than I expected it to be.
Yeah, that was crazy. There were explosions everywhere. Those minotaurs almost trampled me, I swear.
You three
The
are
way you dodged that fireball. Almost.
you three are kind of hungry, and it's not long before the supper meal is prepared and started, distributed out. It's like a mushroom and greens stew that is made by one of the. Um, they're called like pixie moms, but it's like a genderless pixie that becomes a caregiver essentially, right? Like the mother hen of this clutch of pixies. And they're bringing out small acorns filled with this stew. And it's pretty good. Maybe a little bit different than what you're used to, but since you got back, it's strange. You have almost like a charcoal taste in your mouth.
Like the fire's still here. I can almost taste it.
Nah, I think the soup's just smoky today.
That's got to be the mushrooms, right?
You notice that it almost seems like the other pixies that you're seeing from this conclave of pixies, you didn't recognize any of them out on the field today. Like, you're not sure if they're pulling from a bunch of different groups or really even if you care. It depends, I guess, on how closely you're paying attention to who's getting selected. But you do know that the last handful of times have been pretty brutal before being deposited back here. And the day passes into night, not that you could really care, or not that you could really tell under the heavy canopy, other than maybe the bright points of light that could be stars become stars that you're seeing peeking through these small bits and gaps. Um, as you all start slowly finding safe places to settle, whether it's in small burrows or up in a, you know, nest up in the trees that's been abandoned for a while, you all find yourselves pulled into sleep. And almost immediately find yourselves back on a battlefield. You are pulled into being, and whereas in the past you have been given the instruction go forth, do mischief, go attack, like really kind of simple but almost aggressive like missions. Um, these ones are you can feel the willpower wash over you. It's from the same source, but it's indicating not to go straight at the enemy. It's wanting you to do something a little bit more tricky and go down past the edges of the forest, around the beachhead, and come back up and behind along the break between the plains and the swamps on the other side of the battlefield and come up behind. That's the kind of battle plan that's given to you in your mind.
So it looks like this one's covert, trying to be sneaky.
It looks like it's covert, and you're getting the feeling that you will be safe moving on the edges of the plains. As if there was no way they could defend against you attacking through the plains.
Well, as long as I don't have to eat another fireball this time.
I was about to say, as long as we're good to steer clear from all the fire spells, I'm glad to go this way.
As you make
Just
your
watch
way
out for those
around,
cats.
what was that?
Watch out for cats.
As you guys make your way around, Una, you're getting a little different feeling. Where before, like, the magics that have been kind of pulling through you were very life control, like the powers of the oceans and the back and forth of the waves. You're getting a little bit of a creep in there. You're getting a little bit of insidiousness. It's hard to describe. But as the three of you move out past the forest, where normally you would see the beachhead right there, you can see that parts of the beachhead have actually become more of like a marshland, where where normally large waves would be collapsing on the shore, crashing into the shore. About 200 feet of that area has become almost like a murky marshland. Not quite a swamp, but a little bit of a swamp. And you go off to the right. Where you were, it was nighttime. Here it seems to be always day. And so it's kind of shocking a little bit as you break out from the forest and you're caught in daylight. But you feel that confidence building because you were told you'd be safe. You believe the voice, and you start heading out past the plains. Off in the plains, you can see large mammoths. You can see huge cat folk moving across the plains in squads. A phalanx, I think that's how you pronounce it, of human soldiers in bright gleaming armor marching across the plains as you're kind of sneaking around the side. Overhead, you see birds, hawks, that are looking for things just like you. But you're keeping low in the grasses and just keeping safe as you move past the plains. You get out past into the actual swamps. You've seen it from the sky, but you've never actually gotten this far. And the smells and the humidity really get to you. You slow down almost immediately as you're hit with like this wall of the bog of eternal stench as it hits you right into it. But you see that you are pretty much they're undefended back here. They've moved all of their forces up to the front. And while you do see strange, horrific creatures bubbling away back here in the swamp, none of them seem to have been called forth yet. And you begin to make your way through the swamp back into the plains, back to where you can see these large tents have been set up with the planeswalker from this side seemingly missing. There are battle maps you can see from your small hiding spots. You can see two large like desert cats prowling as guards for the camp, but you don't see the planeswalker who you were sent to target. You notice each of you has been equipped with something different, something that you had not expected before. Every time you've come in before, it's pretty much just been you from the Arcanum that you're from. You almost a one-for-one copy over, and it's just you. You hadn't realized until now that you all have been equipped with a small rapier, about 8 inches long, super, super, super thin. It's almost like a shard of bone. And you can see within that shard small lines of green, yellowish, brownish material that, upon smelling it, uh, definitely smell of infection and poison. So you have been sent back here with a very specific reason, and that was to target. Before, you were just sent out to do mischief, maybe block attacks or distract, but you've been given very, very specific orders this time. And you, as you arrive at this other camp and can't find the planeswalker there, you can feel this anger boiling at the back of your head, um, as if this mission has been scrapped as well. And you, as you're trying to feel out what you're thinking, there are a couple options available to you. One is to explore the camp, see if you can get more information, or maybe find the planeswalker with the pants down. You could return back to your side of the battlefield to report on things, or you could explore any of these other areas I've described up to this point. So what would you guys like to do? I'll start with you now.
I think we could get more information from the camp, possibly.
Yeah?
Yeah,
I
if it's
think.
a go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think if we can get more info, and all else fails, we'll have more info when we report back. So that sounds like a good start to me.
Okay. Go ahead and give me stealth checks. So this is going to be, for Una, for you, it'll be on your character sheet under stealth. And I'm going to give you advantage because of the situation you're in and having planeswalking. Both of you two, it's going to be a d20 plus 4, also with advantage.
Ooh. Nice.
D20 plus 4?
D20 plus 4, but you roll with advantage, so roll twice and take the higher
Yeah.
number that you roll.
I got 21.
Okay.
I got 23.
Okay.
I rolled 12, and then we add the 3, the plus.
Yours should be more than a 3 for stealth.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Dexterity.
Yep. Because you do not have that as a class skill, correct? I don't think you did that. I think you've got other skills for your class skills. Yeah, so 15?
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, okay. As you, pretty silently flutter up to the camp's edge, you hold back a second as one of the large cats sniffs in your direction and then keeps going on its path. But you make it into the ring of tents, and this is probably 50 yards square. So it's a large section of tents that you guys are coming up upon. Most of it is quiet. You do see a couple people moving, a couple humans moving here and there. One of the humans moves very stiffly and smells off like spoiled meat. And you see a couple other that must be from some kind of religious order because they're carrying around large religious icons yelling at each other. And as you make your way through, you see that the largest tent in the center has 2 guards that are standing at the entrance to the tent. The tent itself is a fairly large white canvas number. It has a hole in the very middle top, and you can see smoke coming up through that hole. And then the guards out front are speaking in a language that you don't understand, but they're laughing, and you assume they're like telling jokes or something because they're whispering to each other and then laughing, and then the other person will whisper and they'll both laugh. But they're standing, leaning on these large spears, kind of half paying attention.
Do you think there's another way in?
We could go around back if possible, and if not, maybe we can. Anybody got a sleep spell?
I have charm person.
Ooh, that could work. If you don't want to look for another entrance.
We can look around for another one. See if we can sneak by them, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I can go scout it out. If you guys want to stay hiding, I can lap around and let you know what's up.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay, Justin, make me another stealth check and a
Alright.
perception check, please. This time, since you're not in the grasses itself, it won't be with advantage. So
Okay.
it's just gonna be a d20 plus 4 for your stealth check and a d20 plus 2 for your perception check.
Ooh, I got 12 for my stealth check
Okay.
and 18 for my perception check.
Okay. As you make your way further into camp, you are fluttering by and you're trying to be kind of quick and clever and duck behind things as people are passing. And as you make your way around back, you see that the tent is a tent top, like an umbrella, and then the walls are a separate piece of fabric underneath the overlapping top. So you could probably fit up like along the wall up and over into the tent. Other than that, you don't see another entrance other than the hole in the very top that has smoke coming out of it. However, when you start to make your way around the side of the tent and you see that hole, you hear a loud shout in, again, this foreign kind of guttural it sounds like somebody yelling at you with a bunch of rocks in their mouth. It's nowhere as delicate or beautiful as the language of the Fae is. But it's yelling at you, and it's causing alarm, and you can hear foot stomps and shouts, and oh yeah, and a spear lands about a foot and a half to your right and digs into the ground right about a foot and a half next to you.
Ooh.
So
All right, so
you have been spotted.
yeah.
And the other two of you notice this as well.
I'm going to attempt if I have a way to, if I'm already being seen, like fly up and kind of like away from my homies so I don't give away their hiding spot. And just try to get away from all these like non-reach plebes on the ground.
Nice. Give me a d20. Just a bare d20.
I rolled a 1.
Oh crap. As
You
you
you succeed so hard.
as you fly straight up, jeez Louise, you hear a shouting in that same language, and and again, both Una and Ty also hear this. but they're shouting in this strange language. And you see, instead of them focusing on the one that flew straight up in the air, a couple are firing arrows in that direction, but the rest are looking around as if they know he's not alone. So give me give me stealth checks, but this time with disadvantage as they are out looking for you. Yes, Justin.
Sorry, y'all.
I rolled a 1.
I got 7.
Yes.
Okay, got a
There's supposed to
9.
be mischief for the bad guys, not for
Right.
you.
Okay.
For real.
The 2 guards from the front of the tent, as well as a handful of people from around, seem to be moving in your direction, both of you specifically. There's also arrows, and they're getting close, but they're getting close to hitting you. The arrows, Justin. Una and Tai, they are focused on your location, kind of heading straight to you. But those 2 that were guarding the entrance of the tent have disappeared. Like, not disappeared. They have started joining the search. So what would you like to do? The 3 of you. We'll start with Tai.
So they're joining the search. Are we still
So-
near the
You're kind of sitting, hiding amongst the tents at one of the entrances into the camps.
Mhm.
I have a different name written down. What Justin? What would you have for your name?
Mirko.
Okay, that's what I have. But I have Marco, and I thought that was weird. Okay, I knew it wasn't right.
It's fine. Doesn't sound like I'll be here for long. I'm just kidding.
Maybe
Oh no.
maybe he's
Oh,
Canadian like our Marco. So Mirko went to check the rest of the camp and see if there was any other openings to the tent. You 2 kind of hung back. Most of the guards and clerics are heading towards the area where you 2 are hiding. You don't think they've found you yet because they're not like, oh, they're right there. But they're definitely moving en masse in your direction. Mirko went straight up, and I'm assuming is still flying straight up. He didn't just stop and hover like the Flight of the Navigator, right?
Yeah, I was gonna try to just go up and away, but
Yeah. I figured that's what you meant
I-
when you said those noobs who don't fly.
yeah.
Then yeah. So you're getting out of range, but they're still targeting you pretty closely. So Tai, that's where we're sitting at this moment.
Let's. Do you think that we could still possibly get into one of the camp tents at least? So we're not just out in the open, is what I'm thinking. Would that be possible to squeeze through without being noticed?
It's
But
definitely possible. It is definitely an option.
part of me wants to go for it. See what happens. See what's on the inside of one of the tents.
You guys are still together too, so you
Right,
can
right.
try to plan and choose to move together or separate. Or...
Would you want me to scout, or do you want to try and jump in there, Una?
Sorry, one more time.
Maybe we should just try and jump in there.
See what happens. Yeah, let's try and squeeze through.
So you're going to fly for the central tent, or you're going to squeeze into a tent?
Squeeze into a tent.
Okay. To better hide.
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead and give me. Give me a dexterity check as you're trying to squeeze through 2 of the seams in the tent. So just it'll be a dexterity check, not a dexterity saving throw. So just the d20 roll plus the modifier for your dexterity.
So I rolled an 18. So
Okay.
21.
Oh, nice, nice. Ty?
I rolled a 2.
Okay, so uh, disadvantage. You guys are different types of pixies. Una's kind of longer, lithe form means that she was able to slip into the small space, almost like two buttonholes spaced apart. You aren't quite able to get yourself through there. Between your wings and your shoulders, your hips, you're just not able to squeeze through there.
I'm dense. That tracks.
You're more of a dense fairy, yeah. You're
Absolutely.
you're a Danny DeVito fairy, is what you are.
Yeah. Oh
I
my
started
god.
blasting.
He's from the subrace hockey puck fairy.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
a hockey fairy.
Oh my god.
Okay, Mirko, what were you planning on doing? You're currently about 70 to 80 feet up. The arrows are now not reaching you, even when they
Mhm.
are aimed directly at you.
Do I have magic?
Yes, you have access to two cantrips. Mage Hand and Light.
How bright would the light be? You said it's daytime here, or is it kind of
Yeah,
more dim?
it's
Oh,
daytime.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if I can't really make an airborne distraction, but they already see me anyway. I was just gonna try to dart.
The
Oh,
arrows
go ahead.
aren't coming at you very much anymore. My guess is, or your guess is, you're like this big,
Mhm.
80 feet in the air.
So they really can't see me.
They
Okay.
really can't see you. You're producing light. Most pixies do. Most pixies naturally produce light, but I figure you have dialed that down, just like your compatriots have dialed that down, so
Okay.
that you don't. Oh, hey guys, I'm right here. Hey, I'm in a tent now, but you can see me because I'm a light bulb. I'm an LED.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, can I still see Una and Ty from where I'm at?
So
Can I get a beat on their moving?
you're very far away, and
Mhm.
they are very small. So you can go ahead and give me a perception check with disadvantage. There is a
I'm gonna try
chance.
this.
It's a +2, but you're gonna take the lowest of two rolls.
Okay. So I rolled a 19, so 21, and then I rolled a 19 again.
Wow! Somebody take that guy's dice away.
It's making up for that crit fail.
Yeah, no joke. I'm gonna get you guys captured, but I'm gonna be okay. So you don't see Una, but you see Danny DeVito Pixie pushing his way, trying to push his way into like two tent flaps that overlap. And it's probably just because you're familiar with him. Otherwise, you may not have been able to pick up that small movement so far away.
Oh man.
Ty,
My new canon name, Tiny DeVito.
nice. Nice. Love it. What would you like to do? You have a matter of seconds. You have probably one standard action before you are seen.
Is there any? I want to look around and see if there's anything lower I can hide in or around. Maybe
Give me an example of what you're looking for.
like maybe a barrel or like some pots or something along those lines.
You see a handful of pots sitting down next to the kind of side back area of one of the tents nearby.
I'm gonna try and shoot to go hide in one of those.
Give me a d20.
Okay.
This is a luck roll, so don't roll a 1.
I got a 14.
Okay. You shoot straight into a pot, and you're able to slide the cover back over in time as these huge, loud beings move past you. One of them kicks the pot next to your pot, and you are overcome with foul smells.
Oh gosh.
So you picked the empty pot, which is good, but you're overcome with foul, foul smells as he shouts, and you can hear him shaking off his foot, and he's shouting in that strange language. And then they move past you. You are seeing this from up above, Mirko, and Una, you're peeking out through the area you just came from, so you also saw that. So the majority of the large scouting party, searching party, has moved past the tent where you're hidden, the pots where Ty is hidden, and you can see the people that were firing at you, Mirko, have moved past you, and they figure you're a lost cause at this point, and they are also searching, but they're kind of fanning out. So they were originally, most of them were moving towards where Una and Tai were, but now when they're past those levels of tents, they're kind of fanning out. So now you see that that center tent has no guards, and while there are still a handful of people and things milling about, small artifact creatures, there's still a couple hawks that are flying over, keeping overwatch, but other than that handful of things, this area of the campgrounds has been pretty much deserted while they're searching for you guys further out.
Nice. Since I can see the pot that Tyler hid in barely, can I like fly back down and try to regroup with him?
Sure. Sure, no problem.
All right. Sit back down.
You make your way back down and you settle under kind of there's an area where a tent kind of boop poofs out a little bit, and you're kind of hidden underneath there, about 2 feet from where the pot is that ties in, and about 3 feet below where Una is peeking out. Una, you saw Mirko land. Ty, you did not. You were kind of in a
pot.
a quiet space. Yeah.
If I can't hear anybody, can I like peek out and see?
Sure.
Make sure I am safe.
There is a soft sound of clay grinding on clay as you tip the lid open a little bit, and you can see Una peeking out from the slot in the tent, and you can see Mirko kind of hidden underneath a fold of the tent across. Like you guys are in a walkway between two tents. You're on one side and they're on the other side.
Okay.
Sorry, guys. Kind of messed that one up.
We made it. We're okay. I give a thumbs up out of the pot.
At least we can get inside now.
Yeah, let's go in the door. The little maneuver I tried to do didn't quite work. So we'll head for the door.
Okay. I'm assuming all of that's good with all of you. Okay. The three of you settle back together, and you make your way out into the open area. It is kind of scary because you just saw a whole bunch of very large building-sized people coming for you in this area. But keeping an eye overhead for the hawks and keeping an eye out for the mechanical guard dogs, essentially, you make your way across the empty space and to the opening of the largest tent you've ever seen. Peeking in, you can see there are small braziers lit around the room, filling the room with a smoke, fog, something. It's not quite smoke, it's not quite fog, but it's billowing out of these braziers around the tent, and it creates a layer on the indented floor about 6 inches thick. And it smells like a mixture of jasmine and storm clouds. And sitting in the center of it is a large, dark-skinned human with his legs crossed, seems to be meditating on a pillow. And so it's almost like he's flying above the clouds because he's sitting serenely, and all around him in the center of this tent is just smoky cloud. Every once in a while, you'll see something as if something's moving in the clouds. You'll see a ripple effect. And you'll also see flickers of light, almost like lightning. Kind of like the light that we're seeing from Jim's screen every once in a while. Just flash. Flash. And you're kind of hunched, all looking in. I picture the opening of the flat and then head, 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 like you see in sitcoms.
Yes.
Do we know who that is? Do we have like any directive to be drawn to this person?
know, based on some otherworldly knowledge, that this is Shiralas, the planeswalker that you've been targeting. And you're not sure how you know that, but you know that that was your mission. That these blades in your hand have a mission, and that they are supposed to be inside that creature. Your insidious mission, which was not aggressive necessarily, as aggressive, has become aggressive.
Guys, do you want to get stabbing? I pull out my sword.
I think this is them. Maybe I shouldn't go first.
Should we try and like sneak over? Or
Think-
just
Clouds are poison? Did the clouds seem like they're poison?
Give me an Arcana check. This is something all three of you can roll for if you'd like to. Both Ty and Mirko are going to get a +2.
I got 19.
Okay.
15.
One more time. Sorry, I didn't hear you.
I rolled an 11.
An 11. Okay. And do you have a bonus to add to it for Arcana? It's a skill.
Where would it be on the sheet?
Just to the right of like your con and intelligence and wisdom is a skill box. It says like acrobatics, animal handling, arcana.
Oh, no, I have 0.
Oh, okay. All right. So 11. It doesn't look like it's poisonous, but there is definitely magic moving through it. As you kind of open up the magic that is you, because you're beings of magic made form, you get the feeling that this is magic not usually acquainted with pixies, but it's some kind of divination magic. Almost like him sitting here up above these clouds is giving him some kind of perception of the battlefield, maybe.
I don't know if we should touch the clouds down there.
I think being cautious would make sense, especially given our previous encounters.
I know I'm not the best at sneaking, but do you think there's any way we can get by without this guy seeing us? Do you know if maybe you have any spells that could help with this that aren't combat?
I have dancing lights.
You said I have Mage Hand, right?
Yes.
Would a spell like Mage Hand let me like put a blindfold over that person quickly while we like all dash them or rest them?
All out attack.
I mean, you could technically drop a bucket over somebody's head, right?
I mean, he's in a meditative state currently, right?
Yeah, his eyes are closed and he's meditating.
I mean, let's just try and stab him.
No Skyrim tactics needed.
Nope.
Okay, so we're gonna go with initiative. Do me a favor, and all of you roll for initiative, and just tell me what you roll.
15.
Okay.
I rolled a 9.
Okay.
14.
Okay. And that 14 is with your initiative bonus, right, Megan?
Oh no, sorry.
Okay.
17.
17. Okay.
Sweet.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, I should go last.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
And I'm tense, so I'm afraid to go for it.
Okay, Megan. What would you like to do? You are at the top of the initiative, so you act first.
I mean, do we just try and like sneak over? How do you guys
They're not even looking. I
sneak
bet we could
over
take
and
them.
stab, or just go for it?
I feel like he's in the zone. I don't know if he's even gonna like perceive us.
I don't want to get left
Okay.
behind. Again, I want to be close enough to help if something goes wrong, but I'll follow you guys.
I mean, all in all, it's only like 10 feet.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not. It's a huge tent, but it's. Oh, I guess it's more than 10 feet. It's probably like 15 feet, but it's. He's in the center of the tent, and the reason I'm saying it's a gigantic tent is because you guys are like this big.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And our swords have infect.
They have infect, yeah.
Let's go. All right. I think we'll be fine. We have infect.
Okay, so if you want to dive in to make that attack, I think we gave you an attack with well, I don't know if we actually got that because you were out, I think, when we were doing equipment. I don't remember if we did that for you. Do you have attacks?
I have spell attack and pin dagger.
Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna use pin dagger for this.
Mhm.
Okay, so go ahead and we'll say that you close the distance, and he's in a meditative state, so you're gonna get advantage on the attack roll. So you're gonna roll to hit, and it's gonna be plus what that pin dagger says for your attack to hit, which I think will probably be a 5. I think on your sheet.
And +5, yeah, attack bonus.
Yep. And then you roll 2d20 and take
1d6.
the highest
Oh, okay.
because you have advantage because his eyes are closed.
I got a 9.
9. That's with the extra 5.
No,
Okay.
14.
14's
Sorry.
good. 9 is not good. What did you
Was
roll?
that-
What'd you roll on the other die? If you rolled 2
3.
die. Oh shoot.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Hey Justin, I think she needs your dice.
Right?
Although you did roll a 1, so I don't know.
Maybe not.
The 19's after have been nice.
You fly forward and your bone like sword essentially runs right into his pec. And he cries out and his eyes fly open and you can see bright blue sparks as he opens his eyes. And you also see almost immediately veins of greenish black move up his neck underneath his robes as you pull your sword out. It is now Tyler.
All right. I'm gonna. So I see all of that, and I'm like, okay. And then we started stabbing, and then I'm gonna, go try and stab him.
Okay.
Also,
Go ahead and give me a roll, but it's not going to have advantage because he's aware of what's
now
going
he's
on.
awake.
Yeah.
I got an 11.
Okay, well, yours is also +5. Both of you are also +5. So it's a 16,
16.
which hits. And where were you aiming?
Probably just like the back shoulder blade area.
Okay. So as you kind of you sneak in and get him into his back, and he cries out again, and you can see these tendrils almost of just dark, veiny grossness moving up his neck into his jaw. And it is now Justin.
All right. I'm gonna whiz on over following them, but if I can stab them in the foot, I'm gonna do that.
He is starting to move, this large, lumbering, poisoned human, and so he's trying to push himself up, and you rush in and get him right in underneath the ankle, and you hear him cry out, and you see that he wasn't wearing shoes, and you got him really good, and almost immediately you're seeing that infection spread across his foot. It is his turn as he stumbles over onto one knee. The cloud is dispersing around him. It was a spell he was concentrating on. He's no longer concentrating on it. It was dispelled. And he is wildly looking around, and he points a clawed hand at Una, and you hear him utter guttural language, like this guttural deep speech, and he rakes his clawed hand down, and it's like 3 lines are drawn in the air across you as if you were 2-dimensional, and you feel yourself pulled into pieces. Not like a fireball, not like being stomped on when the Mastodon stomped on you that one time, not like the giant stone that fell from that catapult and squashed you. This is different. This is a displacement. And Mirko and Ty, you stand in shock as your compatriot, your, for lack of a better term, sister, was just exiled into some plane beyond. The spells that follow right after pierce you and burn you where you stand, and you wake up in the small grove where you're summoned from each time. But this time, Una's not there. And we're going to take a break right real quick. I'm going to get some dinner. We'll go to the bathroom, and then we will be back.
Cool.
Sounds good.
So, Mark, if you could do that thing.
Yes, I will.
Thank you.
I just got to find them. There we go.
darkness and silence through the night. What a thrill. I'm searching and I'll melt into you. What a fear in my heart, but you're so supreme. There
Bro, my friend was.
I'm not sure how to put a stop to that one, Mark. If you're back. I just hit it on mine. I don't know if he's back. I don't know if anyone's back.
I think it's just you and me, Dan.
Hey.
I didn't think anybody was back yet, so I played another one.
Oh no, you're good. I had texted you because I should have given a time. I usually do, and I didn't this time because I was really hungry and I didn't think about it. So, would it end after this one? Mark?
Affirmative.
Okay.
Laptop is broken 'cause you didn't take the call on your phone.
Bro, my friend was calling me and it went on my laptop and I answered on my phone, so now my laptop is like bugging. It's just
open up the cage. Trying to people please and bring the party back. Purpose in the body bag. Going back and forth opinion point just like Atari.
She got me bugging, wishing that you would love me, but you know you're frontin'. You get all of my love, G. Won't you give me something?
Hey, that's crazy. Start the thing, baby. Cause if it's bugging out, how wish you gon' call the ladies or the gentlemen to push? You know ain't no discriminating. Yeah, I go by slim, but I ain't never shaved.
Funky ringing and ringing, I'm not answering type. She gave me head through my Mac, call that laptop. I had to put his ass on mute, ain't no back talk. Funky ringing and ringing, I'm not the answering type.
I'm so slow, so I feel I'm slugging, but these hoes keep coming, so I feel like I'm bugging on the beat.
Nimmer was just saying, you guys were asking if I could hear what you were saying, and I could not hear what you were saying.
I think he was asking if you could hear the music.
Oh,
that you were dancing to it.
Because you were in the groove, and I was like, I can't hear any of the music. So
yeah. Oh, I hadn't thought about it. It doesn't pipe in here. It pipes over. It pipes out through Twitch, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I could. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. Okay. Thank you, Mark, as always, for running logistics in the background for me. I appreciate it. Yes, you were exiled. You are floating in like gray. It doesn't have temperature. It doesn't have feeling. It's just gray. And Una, you are kind of pinwheeling through the gray. Unlike when you wake up back in the Arcanum, you still feel residual pain from whatever caused your death. Here, you don't really feel anything. I'm not sure what that was. Hello? I don't know if you guys heard it. I heard bells. Yeah, so you're pinwheeling through the gray. And you don't have pain. You are feeling kind of at peace for a moment. You're not even sure how or why that feeling is predominant, because you have no idea where you are or what's happening. And then you feel something else. It's almost as if I'm going crazy. I must be going crazy. I just heard the bells again.
Santa Claus on your roof?
It's gotta be something fey. Maybe I'm not doing it right. They're upset with me for exiling you. I didn't do it. It was... Okay, it's Mark. It's gotta be Mark. He messes with me. It's gotta be Mark. Anyway. You feel a pain from behind your belly button. And it begins to radiate out from there across your abdomen, up through your chest, along your legs, and up into your head, to your ears. You even start feeling the pain of the edges of your horns. And looking at yourself, you can see almost like there's light projecting through your arms. You can see your bones, your veins, there's almost like light coming from within you as you get forcibly pulled, not summoned, but magically yanked from this limbo that you've been sitting in. And there's a flash and a lot of light, and you see yourself hovering for a moment before collapsing to the ground. You are on a large metal table, and there are glowing runes, arcane runes, written on the table around you in like some kind of iridescent paint. Like it's almost glowing like a black light is hitting it, because it's a solid color. It's not like when you've seen magic written before where it's like this undulating magic. This is a solid magic, and it is written very precisely. You've never done any ritual magic like this, so you couldn't begin to identify it, but you're in the center of an arcane circle. Leaning over you is a large, you would assume human, but he's about 50% more human than the humans that you've seen humaning. He's a big guy, with a giant mouth full of slightly crooked teeth. You'd say they were perfect, but there's just something a little off about them. They're a little bit too straight and a little bit too sharp. And he's got a large pair of wire spectacles on, hair that is frizzy and tall, sticking out from all of his head, like he's been hit by lightning. And he says, and he's pointing out, and you turn around to where he's gesturing, and you see a bunch of living beings. Beings from so many different types that it kind of blows your mind a little bit. You've mostly seen a lot of different types out on the battlefield, and when you've been to Fae Moots, you've seen all manner of Fae, right, at the Fae Moots. But this is like going through the entirety of the multiverse and picking out beings from all over and shoving them into this classroom. There's probably 50 or 100 beings here. It's hard for you to tell from this angle, but each one is different. There are things about them, though, that group them together. You see amongst the crowd about 4 different types of uniforms, and they have these collegiate style robes, which you wouldn't necessarily recognize. They all look like mages to you, but they look like mages tied to 4 different traditions. You can pick that out. But again, that language that he's saying, it just sounds like the parents from Snoopy. Wah, 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 wah. You're not sure what language he's saying. The crowd erupts with applause, which is extremely loud in this small space, and from the place that you just were, whatever place that was, and you kind of hold your hands over your ears, and the clapping slowly dies off as people are watching, and he says some more things, and then puts his hands together as if like scooping, and scoops the portion of the table, his hands moving, like bending the metal of the table as if it were butter, and grabbing that portion of the table and carrying you over to a section that's been set aside to the left. And you can see that, like you, there are other magical arcane circles that are set up and glowing of different colors. Maybe 7 or 8 of them. but they're at different levels on stairs, almost like seats at an amphitheater. But there's about 7 of them, and right now they just look like colored circles of runes. And he sets your metal rough circle on those shelves, and they meld into the shelf. So now it's just you on top of an arcane circle on this shelf next to a whole bunch of seemingly empty arcane circles. And he seems to not necessarily forget about you, but walks away from you and doesn't pay any more attention to you, nor does anyone in the class. So what would you like to do? What are you feeling right now? Besides obvious confusion, because what the heck just happened, right?
Angry? Because she's separated from her friends, and I guess she might try to test the barrier, see if there's a way she can try and escape.
How are you looking at testing the barrier? Do you want to move to one of the edges? Do you want to shoot straight up? What would you like to do?
All of the things. I don't know. Bang on it, like try to fly up.
As you move to the edge, you are like putting your hand up because you know there's got to be an edge there, and you feel something that feels like strong, but you can't see it, right? And it's not like a Star Trek force field where you push against it and magic happens, like you can see the force field. You don't see anything. It's perfectly clear. And you feel up as high as you can reach, and it goes straight up like a cylinder. So you think, well, maybe there's got to be. I'm sure there's a roof, and so you fly up. Are you shooting up, or are you carefully trying to feel for the roof?
Carefully.
I've had players do it before, which is why I asked. But you slowly hover, and it feels like a cloche, like a glass covering. But again, you don't see it. You don't see anything like it. After about an hour of him scribbling something on these large boards at the front of the room, there is a loud bell that sounds, and everybody exits the room except for the very tall, wild-haired man. He comes over and he's looking very, very close to you. Like, if you didn't know where that wall was, you'd think he was, like, going to eat you. He's coming that close. And he is speaking that strange language and says towards the end of the language, you make out the word soon. And then more of that language. As if he spoke in Fey, or in some language close to Fey, or maybe just accidentally said one of your words. But that's hard for you to believe, being how different that language sounds to the one that you know. And he leaves. As he walks out and the door slowly closes behind you, you can see that the light in the room is starting to dim, and as it does, the other arcane circles next to you on the shelf, you start seeing things almost unfold themselves from those circles, as if they were hidden or at an angle that you couldn't quite see. And in the ones right around you, and pointed and looking at you, you see one that's a bit larger than you, maybe the size of like a small toddler. He's sitting with his knees pulled up to his chest, and he looks like, you've seen goblins. I mean, not often, but you've seen them. And he looks like a goblin, but made of kind of a rusty metal. He has a rusty metal shell. You see a moth that is sitting on a perch, but the moth seems to be made of light and ethereal, almost like a jellyfish, like a moth given jelly or a jellyfish given moth form. You see a rabbit that is sitting on its hunches and but like still kind of leaning up, and it's made of different types of metal and leather. And in the non-glass glass cloche right next to you, you see a small being, um, standing but leaning back against the back wall of his invisible wall. So it almost looks like he's standing against the wind. He's green, has on a pair of dark green short shorts, has a huge eye in the center of his face, and a small, tiny cowboy hat on, and he has a piece of wheat in his mouth that he's kind of chewing on. So, Mark asked to play Reth the Golden Glomoth. Travis requested the bunny, less the optimistic bunny, which he just put up as his picture. Which leaves 412 and Philip. Philip is a homunculus.
What is 412?
412 is a goblin replica. It's an artifact creature that's also a goblin.
And it's 8 less than 420. Heyo.
Heyo. He's an artifact creature that thinks he's a real goblin in a suit of ill-fitting armor. Do I have any volunteers for those last two? Philip or 412?
What was Philip again?
Philip is a homunculus. It's if you look in the Laughing Corpses text chat, the magic card for him is Philip Lost on the Range. And it's,
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll play Philip Fibblethip.
Okay.
Tyler might play the other one. He had to go get the lasagna.
Oh, yeah, Tyler, do you want to? Yeah.
Okay, so Tyler will play 412. So, you four see that there has been a new addition. It's not uncommon. It doesn't happen as often as it used to. But there has been a new addition to the menagerie. The professor, none of you have really caught his name, is a collector of beings. And the class he's teaching is teaching about summons and what the beings are that are summoned and how to better control them and how to make your summons more permanent, how to add additional things to the summons, things like that. You three understand common as a main. 412, I'm assuming, Tyler, that you want to play 412 because that's the first one. Because you're obviously a real goblin, you also speak goblin. Philip, you can understand any language that's written, but you barely understand spoken common.
Okay.
And Una, you understand Fae at this point. You don't understand common.
Okay.
What about Ruff?
Reth is telepathic, and so doesn't necessarily need to understand or speak any language. Thank you for asking. I meant to say that earlier.
Okay, then I would like to say something to the newbie.
What's up, little grommy? Did you shoot a perfect barrel through the plains today, brah?
God. What has he done, Daniel? That's the question I'm getting in house. Oh, what have I done? Okay, I'm an enabler. I am an enabler. Okay, please continue.
Like, seriously, are you okay? Or did you get ragdolled, brah?
You hear that in your head.
So do I know who's talking to me?
The four beings near you are looking at you. You're not sure which one of them may have spoken directly into your head. But give me an insight check. It's a skill, so it'll be on your skill list.
4. So
So is it plus? Yeah, roll a d20 and then add. Oh, it was 4 your total.
4 is the insight.
Okay.
So I just rolled 1. I rolled 16.
You rolled 16.
And 4 is 20.
That's awesome. Yeah. Yeah. You can't say for sure which one of them said that to you, but the moth on its perch is looking at you quizzically. Just like Mark is in the chat.
Relax, guy.
Where are we?
It's the classroom.
How long have you been here?
Whoa. Let's start with introductions, brah. I'm Raph. Who are you?
I'm Una.
I will telepathically communicate to the others that her name is Una.
So,
Una.
Mark.
Ooh.
You're good. Okay.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
That's all I was gonna say. That was it.
The four of you have been here in this classroom for a variable amount of time, with the longest one being here over 2 years, and the shortest one being here for about 6 months. So, you've been here for a while, long enough that you've seen full classes come and go, for the most part.
So, we've totally been here for a good while. But let me introduce the others.
And then I go and I introduce each one. Or I say their names.
And each of you also note that so that you can do your little thing. So when he introduces 412, what do you do, 412?
So we're all in our little container thingies still, right?
Yeah, and your container is a little bit large, not very large, but it's larger than the others because you're larger than the others.
Okay, so I'm gonna like reach out my hand towards the where I know the wall is and be like, "It's nice to meet you, Una," and like make believe shake. I am a real goblin.
For sake of brevity, I'm going to assume that Mark is translating.
Yes.
Via telepathy.
Yes.
Between you, Philip. When he gets to you and introduces you, what do you do?
I'll just ask inquisitively, like, "Ooh, where'd you come from? I don't know where I came from, but where'd you come from? I'd love to go there."
Where I came from?
Yeah.
You know that originally you came from Arcanum, which is like the Fey realm that you kept getting yanked from, but you don't know where the battlefield was.
Right. I came from Arcana.
Ooh, sounds cool. I don't know where that is either.
As if he's lost. Well done, sir.
It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Les.
So my ears will twitch at her, and I'll kind of keep cocking my head. Ooh, Una's a pretty name. Sorry, I'm a little drained. One day I'm gonna get out of here, though, and then I'll be a real rabbit. Eating carrots and grass. Tell her she has pretty wings. I hope he doesn't pull them off. Don't tell her that.
I don't tell her that.
As you guys begin to get acquainted, are there any stories that you would like to share, which is a moment for improv that you absolutely do not have to take?
I guess I could tell them about what all led up to me being here.
Okay. As
Whoa.
yeah.
Sounds like that planeswalker was a total shooby bra. Probably didn't know whether to cast the colored mana or the colorless first, bra. But you're here now. It's all good, bro. This is pretty chill, pretty easy going. You just gotta sit through a bunch of lectures. Sometimes we get new people. Sometimes they're Barneys, sometimes they're kooks, sometimes they're good. You never know, man.
And through all that, we pretty much stay here, so you always know where you are.
That is true.
I'm so low on energy, I can't even remember before here.
As we pull back from you guys kind of chatting, learning about each other, we pull back through the window, go across the campus of Strixhaven, down into the basement. We're following through the grass, dirt, magically moved cement and stone into an underground basement, and we see the professor sitting over a large experiment table, right? It's an autopsy table, but it could be a mad scientist table, or really any other type of dark, relatively evil mad science, right? And he's got pieces of different creatures tacked to this large table, and he's applying magics to them and watching them move and twitch, and then writing down notes. And as he's making his way down, you see a pair of dragonfly wings that are pinned down like you might see an insect's wings, and he applies some magic to it, and they heal together with no creature in between them. So it's like almost like a butterfly with no creature in between. And he unpins them, and the wings start fluttering on their own and hit into one of the corners of the walls and just keep, like, they don't have direction, so they just keep flapping against the wall. And he looks, makes notes on a keyboard, or on a thing, on a clipboard, and says,
That's like me when he brings out the fire.
and he's taking notes, and then we come back to the ever-present sun kind of shifting back to daylight in Strixhaven. And it has been several weeks, And Una, you now understand common. And ow, 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 ow. They aren't wrong. You haven't gotten hungry. You haven't felt the need to sleep. You haven't. I mean, you guys aren't all talking 24 hours a day. There are large periods of rest. But you haven't felt the need to do any of the things you normally would have had the need to do. You do feel yourself getting more tired, but only like at a much, 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 much slower pace. So, like, for every 3 days you go without sleep, you feel a little bit more tired. Whereas normally you'd be exhausted if you didn't get any sleep, like the next morning, right? So it's just like there's definitely time passing, it's just a lot more slowly. There are no windows here, so it's really hard to track that time anyway. And really the only way to track time here is the number of classes that come through. And you weren't really big on keeping time before anyway, so it's not like you are monitoring exact hours and minutes, you know. But classes come, and then they go, and then they pretty quickly come again. So you have about 3 or 4 classes a day, it would seem. And most of the classes, especially now that you kind of understand that guttural, messed up language that is common, now that you kind of understand it, the professor is a mage. He's a wizard that teaches magic, arcane magic, specifically summoning, but you have seen that he teaches a lot of other magic as well. So only out of every 4 classes, maybe 2 of them are summoning, and the other 2 teach other types of magic. So these are things that you have realized over the last maybe 2 or 3 weeks that you're there. You note, as you have had a better chance to examine yourself and your own motivations and your own mana requirements, that whatever was happening to the battlefield that you came to that last time, where you were given poisonous weapons, where you were told to do this mission a little bit differently, you feel like it changed, something had changed you when you were summoned that last time. And to hear the professor talk about it, it almost sounds like a different type of mana was used to bring you out. Something that altered you. And you can feel that growing within you, that not necessarily darker nature, but curiosity to look into things you hadn't looked into before. See how things work, how dead things work, how different pieces come together. That curiosity which was never there before. And to be fair, this is the longest you've lived outside of Arcanum. So it could also be this place that is stoking that fire of curiosity, that exploration of growth, right? If you were just jumping back and forth in Arcanum or staying in Arcanum all the time, you wouldn't necessarily be looking into yourself or needing to grow. You're a pixie. You're in a place where pixies dwell. That could be enough, as it was for almost all the pixies there. So these are things that you're kind of going over and changing some of the mindsets from when you were first summoned. As we focus on you guys during the lunch break between two classes, 412.
Yes.
What are we talking about? What is the thread for today?
My first thought was you had mentioned mana costs earlier. How aware are we of our own mana costs, or is that an individual creature type thing?
So, because we're playing meta but not meta, right?
Mhm.
I would say any most sentient beings that can look at themselves and begin to wonder about it can see the mana that makes up their cost as part of them, right? Like, I know I'm a green-blue creature. I know that in order to summon me, especially since you guys are learning how summoning works, right? I know to summon me, somebody needs to be familiar with green magic, blue magic, and it's going to take more willpower and more mana to bring me up, right? To summon me. So maybe I'm 1 blue, 1 green, and 2 other. Now I don't have the number part of that, but I do know I'm maybe more expensive to cast, right? Expensive. So it's meta, but it's not meta. And so what I'm trying to represent in that is that Una, for example, her cost shifted from a blue and a green to a green and a black.
Okay. So I don't know. I was thinking, like, generally, does that, like, how does that make you feel? Do you feel like you are in tune more with a different source, or are you just now generally thinking about, I guess, yourself now and how you changed from one color to the other? Because me, I'm just your, your general everyday kind of goblin. I don't, it's never happened to me before, so I was just curious where you're at.
You're on mute.
I definitely feel different. I feel darker.
Do you mean you got a tan?
I
To
don't
be
think so.
to be super meta.
I just want to know how messed up it is that, like, to summon me, I have to summon the thing I want to get to, which is the sun.
I hope I can be green someday.
Right.
I actually can't swim, guys.
I've heard it's not easy being green.
Gotta be better than red.
I feel like I'm red, but I know that I'm not. You know what I mean? Because, like, all my other goblin brothers, they're red. I'm feeling pretty red.
Well, you can take it.
Power stance.
No!
Does anybody have a drum?
I'll go ask my goblin brothers. Oh, wait.
I hadn't even put that together. Well done. That rabbit battery is Duracell. I hadn't even put that together.
Getting extreme. Oh, we're on a thing. Never mind.
Not Duracell. Energizer? Energizer.
I almost used that as a picture.
Yeah. You almost what?
I almost used that as the picture.
Yeah. The as night comes in and the last class leaves, usually the professor leaves and ignores you guys for the most part. During lectures, he will sometimes roll one of you out to the center to talk about some specifics or casting specifics or how difficult it is to change or add attributes to some of you. Tonight, however, he moves up to Les's enclosure and he makes a show of reaching past where the wall is for all of you. And it's surprising because you've never seen him do anything like that. Well, Una hasn't. A subject that you guys haven't really talked about because you're not sure how it works or what happens. I had said there were like 7 or 8 of these circles. A couple of them are empty, and they haven't always been empty. And Les, as he reaches in to yours, you can feel the small energy that you have remaining seeping, and you get more and more tired until you kind of fall over. And he reaches in and grabs you around the torso and lifts you out of your cage. And while you are still awake, you can't move. And he says, well, let's see what we can do with you, little friend. But he says it in a very sinister way. And begins to walk out of the classroom.
And Reth will hear in his head, maybe he's going to make me a rabbit.
The next morning...
Oh, I was on mute.
Bruh, bail! Bail!
The next morning, it's just the 4 of you. You look over, and, I mean, all of you have been mostly awake all night, but Les's enclosure is still empty.
Oh. Bruh.
Bruh.
Nice.
He spelled rabbit wrong. Just saying.
I mean, he's not a real rabbit. Give him credit.
Oh, okay.
The professor comes back and begins setting up for his next class.
Prof, I gotta know what happened to the rabbit there, buddy.
Who are you talking to?
The professor.
Oh, he says... first of all, have you spoken to him in the past?
I mean, I would assume I have.
Okay, you've never gotten a response back.
Okay.
It doesn't stop you from trying, but you've never gotten a response back.
Right.
And he actually stops erasing the board that had spells on it, and looks over at you, and that's the first time you've actually gotten any kind of response from him whatsoever. And he slowly walks over to the occupied area of the steps and says, he was made useful, as I hope all of you will, for science and magic and learning.
And the children.
The smile on his face is creepy. I can't do a smile like that, even though my smiles do look creepy. They're not that kind of creepy.
So I do have a myriad of questions right now. Then,
yes.
Number one, first and foremost, Is there? I would assume that I do not have any magic beyond whatever is on my card.
Correct.
Okay, great. That's what I need to know. Great, thank you.
Yeah. Una, with difference to you, they are what it says on the card. You have been learning, and when you think no one's really paying attention, you've been learning and practicing and kind of understanding the magic that has been written up in the schoolroom. You've been essentially gaining a level of sorcerer, where that magic sure comes from your blood, but you've been able to put the learning from the classroom through the practice using the magic from within. So you have access to all of your spells and abilities that are on your sheet, where the rest of them are pretty much what it says on the card. That was one question, Mark. You said you had a lot.
Yeah, look at that.
Look at what?
Text.
Oh. Text.
And that's it. That's I would begin trying to fly all around the barrier, trying to find any weak spots. Which there probably isn't any, but
Noted. As the classes work their way through the day, and this new information has come to light, missing less, what has the talk been about? Or are you guys saving the conversation for after the professor leaves?
I think that's a good idea.
I agree.
Okay. You note, give me, let's see. Philip and Una, give me Arcana checks. Philip, yours is going to be +3. Because you're a homunculus.
15.
Okay.
I rolled a 17.
Okay. You both note that some of the spells he's working on today show how prideful he is, or maybe just how little he thinks of you, because the spells he's writing on the board are very similar to the spells at your feet. And he is also including some counters and some ways to disrupt these spells. It's nothing that you've seen before, and you're not even sure you could duplicate it, but they are a possibility. And so the day moves through the same way, and classes come, classes go, and he leaves. But before he gets to the door at the back of the room, he turns around and walks back to 412's larger enclosure and says, "I'm almost to the point where I can take you apart and see how you work." And he's looking in, almost like he's trying to peer into your soul, and then shakes his head and starts walking off.
And I mean, he's just gonna find a goblin, so...
And the door swings shut behind him and you hear a clunk as it's locked. But you know he has a large key ring, so it's just a normal lock. Seeing the stuff on the wall, on the board in front of you, and the arcane runes at your feet, all four of you can make, and discussing it between yourselves, all four of you can make an Arcana check with advantage to see if you can disrupt the spell at your feet. It is a difficult roll.
Nat 20.
Of course.
It's the only roll I've made tonight.
Oh my god.
You said it has advantage?
Yeah, yes. What
I got
did
10.
you roll?
The other one was a 3.
Nice.
I got a 19 and a 16, so a 19.
Okay.
I got a 17.
Okay. What did you get?
I got a 10, and I don't have a Arcanus.
Did you roll twice with advantage?
Oh, yeah. The 10 was the higher one.
You
We're getting you new dice.
You're not entirely sure, because you're pretty sure you've got the lines right in order to counter it, but it's not working for you for some reason. However,
Oh,
yeah.
go ahead. Like, can I use?
Go ahead.
Sorry, I was like, can I use my giant eye and notice her struggling and like help her learn it by like plotting some of the knowledge she'll need so she can learn it later?
Give me an intelligence check with a +1.
16.
Yeah, you think you see what the problem is? Yeah.
Okay, I'll kind of communicate that like in the best way I can to you, Una, to be like, hey, I think this affects this, and like these runes are related, and like kind of give you that.
Which will give you a reroll. So reroll.
I
think I see something.
Let me give it a better roll.
And a 2.
7.
7.
Yeah, you need to burn that dice.
We're getting you a new set tomorrow.
So the rest of you, it takes hours. It takes hours and hours, but you're able to mess with the spells enough where that kind of solid glowing arcana fizzles and you just see black ink written in runes beneath you. Hesitant tests show you that you no longer have walls surrounding you. Each of you except for Una, who still has a solid wall around her.
Would it be possible that I could fly over and try and do that to hers?
So the spell is inside the cloche.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so all of you are kind of standing around the the invisible cloche, if you will, looking at it from different angles. And
Can I try to assist her?
She sure can. Go ahead and give me an intelligence check at +0.
So, Una, sometimes you gotta duck dive so you don't get washed, yeah?
Intelligence roll of 15.
15?
Oh, plus whatever.
+0, yeah.
Okay.
It originally had a plus, but then you were a surfer, so... Go ahead and give me one more roll, Megs. You've got this. It's a roll with advantage, so roll twice and take the better of the two.
We believe.
Remember.
I rolled an 11 and a 1.
She got ragdolled.
I guess you're sleeping in there tonight.
You guys move out into the room looking for different things that might be able to help you. So give me a... okay. Let's talk real quick about the division of skills. A perception check is normally used to see things that happen around you. Okay, details that happen around you. When you are... Oh, they got rid of that. I don't know why I kept thinking that. That it was 2 skills. So go ahead and give me perception checks. Yeah, perception checks.
15.
I rolled an 18.
Okay.
I rolled a 16.
16. Okay. As you guys kind of make your way around, you see that there is a book that is laying open on the pedestal up where he kind of teaches his lectures from, and it has a slightly different looking arcane lock, essentially, is what was underneath you guys, was an arcane lock. And it's a slightly different version, so it could be that maybe this one is what's needed for Una instead of the other. And it's actually runes drawn outside of the arcane circle to cancel the stuff that's inside. So it's dangerous, but you might be able to draw these runes on the outside of that force cloche to get Una out. So it'll require an Arcana check from one of you, with assistance from the others, which means it will give the person doing it advantage. The only one of you that has proficiency in this skill is Philip.
Yeah, I think I can plot this.
I'm stoked. Let's carve a bomb, little Groms.
Woo! Woo! I open my one eye wide and I try to plot the spell.
Okay.
So I roll with advantage?
You're going to roll with advantage, and it's a +3.
Okay. So my high, that's a 16.
Okay. Your highest was a 13.
Yeah, I rolled a 13 and a 10.
16 was high enough. That's fine. And all three of you kind of redraw and make sure that everything's correct in this. And as you draw the last rune in place, there's a snap, a very loud snap, like a balloon being burst. And you feel, Una, the air rush in. The air from the classroom, which is different than the air that you've been in for the last several weeks. So the 4 of you are free. Well, I mean, you're locked in the classroom, but you're free.
Yay.
Are there any lights in here?
There are, yes, yeah, there are a couple non-traditional torches in the corners.
Beeline.
Okay. The moth moves to the flameless flame, hovering around it, soaking in the light.
Can't catch it. I can't get it. What is this?
What would you like to do next in the way of getting out of now this room?
How tall am I? Think I can reach the doorknob?
You are the only one that can reach the doorknob without flight.
We heard him lock it. Let's look for keys. We took them. What do you guys think?
Can we try fitting under the door?
Honestly, yeah.
Yeah, actually, there is a slot underneath the door that you think you could squeeze through.
Who of us could make it under?
You. Well,
I
maybe
probably could, actually.
maybe the moth. Yeah, the moth might be able to, but you'll be like shoving him under the door. So you and the moth.
I lose interest in the flame anyways. It's not real.
No, it's not. So the moth can flatten out and pretty easily be pushed under the door, but you're gonna need a dexterity check, Una, an acrobatics check or athletics if you have one or the other.
I have acrobatics.
Okay.
Rolled 15.
Okay. You squeeze under the
Oh, plus
door.
5.
You easily squeeze under the door. It doesn't even hurt. And you and Rhett are on the other side of the door. You see that while it was locked, it is a deadbolt lock, not meant to keep everything in the room from escaping. Very unsafe for a school. But possibly very safe for one of the main teachers for summoning.
Una, let's see if we can move that lock.
Yeah, are we heavy enough
That,
together?
We can try.
That is the question. So
With your
both of you
combined
lever
mass.
yourselves. What was that?
Said with your combined mass, maybe.
You both kind of lever yourselves onto the door, pushing and pushing and pushing. Can I get a strength check from both of you?
Oh, jeez.
Does it happen with advantage if we both flap our wings really hard?
No.
Okay.
And yours is at a -2, Mark.
Mine is also a -1.
Okay.
Oh no.
We
Y'all
just
can
roll
do it.
once. Do we get
Harness
2
your
rolls?
inner me.
I got a 5.
Do we roll
7.
twice?
Very
No,
nice.
you don't roll
No.
twice.
I rolled a 9.
7 minus 2. 5.
9 minus 1.
You hear struggling coming from the other side of the door, you two.
I'm gonna just try and jiggle the door handle, try and help him from the other side.
You guys see
You guys
the door
can do it.
handle jiggling. You both position yourselves a little bit better and line each other up so that you're on the same side and you're trying to push. Go ahead and give me another. Choose one of you to roll, and that person rolls with advantage.
Brock, I'll help you. I'll flap really hard behind you. This'll work.
Okay.
So roll twice, and takes it better.
I rolled a 17.
Okay. With the -1 or without the
Yeah.
-1? Okay.
That's before -1, yeah.
Okay.
So 16.
So 16. It takes what feels like forever, but the lock slowly starts to move, and then you all hear a thunk as the lock unlocks and the door is more like wiggles in the frame a little bit.
Now I open the door.
As you open the door, you see a very proud Reth and Una standing outside, very proud of
Let's
themselves.
go. High five, and I hold my hand up. Careful, I'm spiky.
You make your way out of the room, and you all have not seen this hallway before, but it is a long hallway that has exits to the left and right. The exit to the left is a closed wooden door that looks very heavy. The doorway to the right is a door that is slightly left ajar, and you can see that it steps downwards. There are also fairly thick arrow slit windows, maybe 18 inches, that allow you to look out. And this is a bridge between two towers, and you're looking down at a courtyard. A nice courtyard, like a college courtyard.
Una, you could get through there.
And he points to one of the arrow slits.
Oh, to get into the courtyard? Yeah.
Well, I mean, yes, you fly, but it's a probably 30-foot drop. Almost all of you except for F12 or 412. 412 is the only one that wouldn't fit through the 18-inch gap.
Can I break a window after they get out?
So the windows in this, the only windows you've seen so far are these kind of windows, arrow slit windows, and they're 18 inches wide, and
Gotcha.
that's the windows in this long hallway.
And they do not have glass in them, correct?
They do not have glass in them.
Right. So they're just open air.
Oh, okay, cool.
Maybe if you could get out of your armor, you'd be able to fit, but this is really ill-fitting armor, and you're not sure you can take it off.
No, that's fair. That's fair. I wouldn't want to unleash my inner goblin just yet. I gotta wait.
I mean, we
could try and fly down, scope out the beach, see how things are trending, and then you guys come down the stairway if it's all clear.
Sounds good to me. I don't mind hanging back.
You're on mute.
Yeah. Just tell me where to go. So I don't know.
You can't fly, can you?
Not last I checked.
I mean, I can go check.
Okay. I'll go with you.
So, what are you guys doing?
I think we're gonna fly down and figure out where the door is for them to get out from where we saw the stairway leading down.
Okay.
And then make sure it's clear, and if it's clear, we'll go back up and tell them.
Okay. You fly down. Do a perception check, and it's just gonna be a normal perception check. It is dark, but these areas of the campus are pretty well lit.
I got a 12.
Okay.
I rolled an 18. Plus 2.
2, so 20. Dirty 20. You guys get down to the base, to the bottom, and you see a lot of doors. A lot. This walkway that goes between these two towers, the door on the side of the walkway that had a stairway going down, and you guys kind of peeked in and saw a stairway going down, you don't see that door. The door on this side that was closed, you see that it has another long, like freestanding hallway that goes to a different tower. So I should have grabbed something to draw on. That's my bad. Give me 1 second. Is this gonna black out? Yep.
Put it over
Oh, it's so clear now.
Oh. That's interesting.
Oh, is it frozen?
Yeah. I just refresh it, right?
Yeah.
How do I refresh it?
Right click on it in the stack and then it'll be in the top right. Refresh.
Be right
The
back.
camera has left the building.
No joke. The camera that's pointing at the table is out.
The only thing I can say is like remove it and re-add it.
Yeah. I need to make sure it's not the camera that's under the table pointing at my feet. For the Patreon.
Yeah.
That's OnlyFans time. I'm
Yeah,
getting mixed
yeah,
up.
your
Your
feet for
only
the
feet account.
Patreon, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, only feet.
Yeah, it's still not. Okay. I tried. We're gonna do this a different way. I need... I don't want that.
There you go.
GM.
Is that also OnlyFans content? No. Okay.
I hope not. I didn't mean for it to be when I was drawing it out. That's why I drew it out like this.
Perspective.
Oh, wow.
So this is the tower that is the classroom. This is the hallway you guys are in. This is the door that was open with the stairwell. This is the locked door, and from the ground, you guys can see the locked door leads to another hallway, which leads to another tower. So you're not sure where this door goes to, the one that's slightly open, but you can't see the door or the stairway from the outside.
Okay.
You mean the door that's ajar?
Yes, the door is ajar. The door is ajar. True.
It's after hours.
It is after hours. Everybody's
Let's
asleep.
just gun it. Let's go.
So, are we just gonna assume that the rabbit's dead? Should we look for him?
Where do you think you took him?
Maybe down those stairs.
I don't know if we can get this other door open, so
Might as well try the stairs, right?
I can't really fit anywhere else.
That's fair. Same. I'm pretty large. Again, dance.
Since we can't find it, let's go up and help the others, brah.
He says Duna.
Okay.
All right, you guys make your way back up to the hallway and push the door open a little bit wider. You can see that these stairs are pretty well lit. The majority of the campus is a college campus. The majority of the campus is pretty well lit. The stairs are no different. And as you start walking down them, you also note they are silent. Most of the stairs that you've walked on that weren't like straight up stone stairs creaked, moved a little bit. Even stone steps, you can hear the echoes of your footfalls as it echoes through the empty spaces. You do not hear your feet, which is especially strange for you, 412, because your armor is loud armor, and it's echoing, but your steps are not.
This is odd. I
Go ahead.
look around, see if I can, or like I'm gonna look down and see if I can see anything different than what I would expect to see, at least in terms of like school, flooring and stones and such. Are we on like wood?
So, as you were
Or
walking out of the classroom into the hallway, you noted that there was a carpet runner
Mhm.
down the center of the hallway, and there's a carpet runner here as well, as it goes down the steps, but there's still stone steps. And as you take your large metal foot and tap
Mhm.
the carpet, and then tap the stone that's next to the carpet, it still makes no sound. So you're not entirely sure what's happening.
Hmm.
I'm assuming that Reth is flying. Is Una flying? Or walking?
Yeah.
Okay. So, as you guys make your way down the stairs, give me a perception check.
I got a 16 on the die.
Same.
Okay.
11 on the die.
All right.
13.
Okay. You all notice after a bit, you are now pretty far past where ground should be outside. Like you've been walking for a little bit, and sure, you don't know exactly how many stairs you took, but you know you're past ground level. And as you keep walking, you come to a small kind of alcove, and as you enter at this alcove, there's a door that is closed, but it has a lot of inlaid, carved pieces that have been fit together like a stained glass window, but not stained glass. So it's a bunch of pieces of wood that have been laid into a picture. And the picture is of like a forest with small creatures and ants and what might be like some kind of elf or something, but it's kind of small in the corner. And it's from about 8 feet up to the floor. The entire thing are these small pieces of wood that have been fit together and with metal braces in some places, like a stained glass window.
Can we see the outside from it, or is it just like a
Oh no, it's a wooden
picture?
door. It's just the design on the door is this. It's not when I say stained glass. It's like
Mm,
it's stained glass if the glass were all wood.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Um. Hmm. My brain is just like break it, see if we can get through, get outside, but
Well, since the two of you are otherwise too small to probably like open it, do you guys want to? Does it look like a normal door, like with a handle we can interact with? Does it look like it's locked?
So there's no handle, but also it doesn't look like it's locked because
I'm just gonna try and push it.
yeah, you don't see any locks or anything. You place your goblinoid metal hand on where the door handle might be, and it moves freely, and the whole door kind of swings open quietly, as if whoever put this door in place wasn't counting on anyone else coming down this far. And before you, you see a large room. It's probably 30 or 40 feet high, probably 20 or 30 feet wide by 50 feet long. Inside are all manner of books, scrolls, a whole bunch of them laying open all over the place. You see um, jars and clay pots lining a whole bunch of almost every flat surface. There are tools laying out. In the center of the room, you see several metal tables, like college metal tables, and on the tables are horrors beyond fascination. Many of them are not recognizable as what they probably are, but for lack of a better term, you see organs and pieces of hundreds of different species of creatures, legendary creatures, maybe even some planeswalkers, that are being studied. Most of them have very well written notes laying next to them about what they are, where they're from, what experiment it was being used for, as if someone is going to present this all to some higher body of learning. Give me a perception check.
I got a 17.
Okay.
I got an 18.
I got 12.
Okay. What did you say you got, Tyler?
15.
15. Okay. Una, you are kind of flitting about, just kind of shocked but curious, because these items are well preserved. They're not rotted. They're not. And there are animal pieces here you've never seen before as well. That same curiosity, that morbid curiosity, does. I'm not saying that you're like drawn to these items, but the level of. There is a level of. I don't know. I'm trying to think of the word, sorry, brain.
Like a level of intrigue?
Like intrigue, or not quite fascination, but what's it called when you are religious and you are looking at a religious item and you want it to be left alone?
Reverence?
Reverence. Yeah. Like, perhaps we shouldn't molest these parts further. We should leave them alone. Like, you're getting that feeling deep down. Thank you. The rest of you, as Una, as you're kind of realizing this and looking at these things, 1 second.
As you're looking at these things, a 15-year-old walks into the room.
A 14-year-old who's playing a game with his friends across the room yells at them.
Oh.
He has like 3 friends that he plays with that are that do not like each other, and he's trying to play the middle ground between them, and he's really trying, but you can see his frustration. Anyway, the rest of you see the front half of Wrath, and it is sewn to the back half of what looks like a white rabbit. And it is laying on a table near the back. Am I on mute?
No.
Just a little messed up.
It's not dirty. It's not gory. It's just kind of laying there, almost as if it's been prepared for a further experiment.
I mean, is our bro okay? Let's go. Yeah. Let's go. I'm gonna walk over and see.
Les, little Brom, time to wake up.
Una, you see them gathering around the table near the back.
Okay, I mean, I fly over and check on him, I guess.
As Una is flying over, do any of you read the tag or the notes that are written next to him?
I can't
Should
read.
If it's in common, I'll do my best.
Well, keep in mind, Philip, you can read any language.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Yeah, you can read any language. It's common that you have a problem with understanding spoken.
Wow. I totally went back to the Laughing Corpses thread and was trying to read the things that were supposedly next to each of our cards. My bad.
Oh, I'm
Totally misunderstood.
You're good. As you're reading through the notes, you see that he's essentially Frankensteining Les with a little bit of some kind of electrical magic. It looks like he might be able to jumpstart the hair. And a little bit
Guys,
off
we
to
need to find some batteries.
a little bit off to the right, you see that some clay pots that house some kind of power have been prepared, and they just haven't been moved over or connected.
Ooh.
Can I grab them and try and move them over and connect them?
Sure.
Being the largest of the group.
Give me an intelligence check.
Super, super smart, right? Like +5.
-1.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Come on, Nat
Oh,
20.
hold up. My dice flew out of where I rolled it.
See, that's the way to do it. Treat me right or I'm going to throw you.
Let's go. I got a 19.
Oh, wow. Okay.
-1, you said?
Yeah.
So 18.
Yeah, you move it over and you start connecting things. And Philip, as he's moving these large containers over these large kind of clay pots that have wires sticking out of them, you start matching triangle with triangle, square with square, circle with circle, and you guys think you have it lined out just right. And Una, give me a d20 check if you would.
I got 15.
Hey, that's good. That was a luck roll. That's really good.
Yo, nice.
You were able to line everything up, and as you plug in that last wire, you see energy passing over the wires into your friend, Les. And the back legs that are rabbit, like actual rabbit legs, start to twitch and kick. And you see energy moving up through his metal torso. His eyes begin to glow a little bit first, and then. And Les, you wake up, and you are kind of laying on a table, your legs tapping out on this metal table, but you can feel them. You've never actually been able to feel before. You knew, instinctively, you knew when something touched you or when you touched something, but you couldn't actually feel it before. And everything from your waist, like right around your waist and hips, to the tips of your toes, you can feel now.
Hey guys,
Hello.
where are we?
We don't exactly know. I don't often know where I am, but I really don't know right now.
Oh, I'm hurting. It's kind of cool. I don't think I've ever hurt before.
I'm glad you're awake.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you need to be Dawn Patrol and pop up and let's get out of here.
Will I still be alive if I disconnect these wires?
I think so. Do I know if he will or not?
You do not know. I mean, the notes are pretty easy. I mean, what you read from the notes and what you understand from the notes, they just needed a jump start, but you're not sure.
Maybe I should stay. What if I can be a whole rabbit?
I think we should get you out of here while you're still you.
Bruh.
Am I allowed to eat food now? How do I keep these legs alive?
Bruh.
All right, tell me where you want me to go.
So, over the last couple of years, those of you that have been here that long, you know that you are in a pocket dimension type thing. You're not really on any big plane. You're kind of in a pocket that was made specifically for this college. So you will need an exit strategy that is more than just running into the whatever's outside the college walls.
Would I have seen anything being back here before I got dissected?
You know that the professor has several teleportation circles. You've seen him and others use them while coming and going, but other than hearing that, you know they're somewhere in the back. You haven't actually seen them. You've heard them talking about it, and you've heard them go back there and then just disappear after like a loud pop, and then there's no sound, right? So you know they're somewhere back there, but how they work and where they go, you're not sure.
Then I'll tell them. I think the devil man leaves through the back somewhere. Maybe we can get out that way.
Bruh, let's try and shoot the backside.
Hopefully we can find something.
Let's go give it a shot.
Yeah,
Do we wanna
head towards the
investigate?
back.
I will hop off the table and rabbit run over to the back.
Do I have to disconnect him?
He
ouch.
as he jumps off the table, he gets hung up a second until the wires like pull out, and then he's fine.
Cool.
Oof. That's a relief.
And you make your way into the back, and sure enough, there are 3 arcane circles drawn on the ground: a red, a green, and a yellow. And they are drawn out. They're about 10 feet across, with strange arcane rules and sigils, and each of them is a little bit different, indicating that they probably go to different places. But you also know from the stuff he's been talking about in his class that you need some kind of word or something to activate them. Once they're activated, you can use them for until the power is gone, but you have to use a special word to be able to turn them on.
Could we have learned the word in hearing him talk about it?
So he's talked about the idea of how these circles work, but he hasn't given any practical examples.
Can we? Is the room or the area we're in? Is there anything that we could use, like as a book that has the potential like information about it or anything? I don't know.
All things being equal, that is a great idea in practice for someone who reads.
Yeah, I mean it's not going to be me, but
You can read anything, Philip.
Give me give me a perception check to look for useful words, scrolls, books. Back here.
Perception, or it doesn't matter either way.
I rolled a 5.
Okay.
I'm not going to roll. I just want to posit one out there.
Bird.
Is bird the word?
Bird is not the word.
Okay.
I was gonna ask.
I was told differently. I feel lied to.
I'm gonna try Roadhouse. No.
Roadhouse. What did you get, Megan? For your perception check?
Oh.
She failed
18.
the perception.
18?
Yes.
Okay.
You missed the trigger.
And Travis, what did you get?
Oh, what am I rolling?
Perception. You had D20.
4.
Okay. You guys are searching around, and sorry, Justin, you got a.
I got 16.
Okay. You and Una, Philip and Una, come across a series of documents that has a handful of words that could be possible, but they don't say how to use them, or where you have to be when using them, or which circle they might belong to. And it's at this time that you hear a loud bang from the door slamming at the top of the stairs.
I will run to the closest teleportation circle and start running around the outside edge as fast as I can.
Just running?
Yep.
Yeah. Les is running around in circles around one of the teleportation circles. You know that the stairs are silent, so if someone is coming down the stairs, you will have no way of knowing when they arrive or how fast they're going.
How long does it take to try all these words? Do you think we could try them all reasonably within the time this person can get down the stairs, or no?
I think that you should try. So
Yes, hurry.
Both of you give me an Arcana check as you're reading through these words. So just
I don't know which one is what and goes where, but maybe we should stand in them, and so if one works, we can make it out.
Yeah.
I got a 13.
Got a 17.
As you guys are making your way through the words, what color were you standing in, Meg? Where was Una standing when she's calling out the words?
Outside of the circles, I guess.
Were you standing near one of them, or just kind of in the center of the room, away from them?
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
Okay.
Near them.
As you guys are making your way through the words, Una says a word in some strange dialect. You were able to piece it together with letters from Common, but you're not sure what the word is. It sounded a lot like banana, and the yellow teleportation circle bursts to life. Did you say which circle you were running around?
I just said the closest one.
Okay. Give me 1 second. You were running around the green one. The yellow one bursts to life as the door at the bottom of the stairs bursts open, and you see the professor in a sleeping robe down to his ankles, holding 2 wands and shouting in some kind of deep speak. It's a dark language filled with dark thoughts, and it almost feels like something is, when he's saying it almost feels like something is slithering across your skin. As he's kind of yelling, and you see light emerge from the wands as he's firing something from the wands towards you guys at the back of the room.
I would like to fly between Una and him.
And I'm going to run directly at him and rabbit kick his shins.
I want to grab the nearest object to me and just hurl it at him, trying to break his focus.
I'm gonna probably do the same thing with a larger object since I'm a pretty dense dude. Maybe like a chair or something.
You can throw me throwing the object.
Yeah, perfect. Low throw.
Give me 1 second.
Exactly.
Okay. I am shuffling my index cards that are initiative cards.
What if we try and transport him away?
Take him in a circle.
Yeah.
School is
think-
ours.
I think the problem is going to be moving him to the circle.
Mm-hmm.
So, we are starting with the professor. And he is pointing and firing. And you said beforehand, Mark, that you were flying between Megan
Una and the professor.
Una and the professor. The blast from the wand hits you. And you have more than one hit point because that's not how we're working, but it does 3 points of damage. Making note of that. And as the blast, this kind of firebolty blast, hits you, Reth, the energy that is kind of making up your ethereal jellyfish-like form flashes for a moment, and you can see it settling like dust on Una. And Una, you feel energized. As this kind of dust flows over you. You're not feeling too hot, Reth. That hurt a lot.
Heinous, bruh!
And now it is Justin's turn. Unless you want to wait until after Tyler, so Tyler can throw you.
Yeah, if he's picking me up to throw me, then yeah.
Let's do it.
Works. I'll hold my action to like sync it with Tyler's throw.
Okay. Okay, Tyler.
I'm throwing him.
Pick me up, fam.
Pick him up and yeet him.
Okay, give me a strength check.
I got a 16.
Okay. You pick up the small one-eyed cowboy and throw him across the room. What did you grab? What did you have in your hands?
We were looking at like it was books that had the words in them, right?
Yeah.
The biggest book near me I could grab.
Okay. You grabbed hold of a book, probably almost as big as you are, and you're holding it tightly, like to your chest, as you get thrown at the professor. Go ahead and make an attack with advantage, because you just got a speedball special.
Oh, thank God I have advantage. 15.
Okay, you hit him. I'm gonna say. What's your strength modifier, Tyler? Oh, I didn't tell you.
Yeah, you didn't tell me.
Yeah.
I was like, whatever I want it to be, plus 13, plus 412.
I am the strongest
412.
goblin ever. Okay. Yeah, you don't have character sheets. How would you know?
No, plus 12.
Yeah, sounds about
Yep.
right.
Nice.
I mean, he's just a normal goblin. That's what normal goblins have.
The book
Exactly.
buries itself in the professor's chest with that much damage. No, the professor
Get knowledge.
gets off balance. He wasn't expecting to get a homunculus strapped to a book thrown at him, and he gets bowled over. So you guys are kind of all in a pile right now, but you did 11 damage to him. And 3 damage to you, Philip.
All right.
But since you have 40,000 hit points, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's cool. It's those sharp corners poke me in the eye a little bit.
Paper cut, paper cut, paper cut.
Ow.
It is Travis.
I am kicking him
You
in
are
the
kicking
shins
him.
as hard as I can with my new legs.
That's right. Go ahead and roll a d20. And he is on the ground now, so you roll with advantage.
Oh,
Stop
nice.
him.
First was a 9. And we're going to go with a 9.
Wow. Okay.
Dang.
I mean, that's an 11 you still hit, so. Um, wow. And Megan.
I can try and hit him with a spell or something.
You could, yeah. Yep.
Eldritch Blast.
Yes.
I have Witch Bolt.
Bolt him.
Yep. Yep.
Bolt him.
Michael Bolton.
Get him, Una.
Let me check which is bolt. Does it say saving throw? Or is it rolled to hit? Range spell attack against that creature. So, bad news is it's a ranged spell attack and he's on the ground, and so it's actually, you're going to roll with disadvantage to hit him.
Oh, would it be better if I just try to stab him with the dagger?
I mean, you could just stab him with a dagger.
Oh.
Which is
Does she still have her infect dagger?
No.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. Witch's Bolt is a pretty awesome attack, though, and it's worth taking a shot, right?
Okay.
I mean, we also know how you've been rolling, so we'll have to see. So go ahead and roll your attack, and it's going to be plus your spell attack modifier under your attacks. And
Okay, so plus 5.
Yeah, and you're going to roll 2 dice and take the lowest of the 2. 2 d20s and the lowest of the 2.
10.
Okay, plus 5, right?
Yep.
So 15. That hits.
Sweet.
Yeah. So okay. On a successful hit, target creature takes 1d12 lightning damage. And on your following turns, if you're concentrating and you don't do anything else with your action, you can use your action to deal an additional d12 automatically.
That's a pretty sick spell.
Spell ends.
It is super good.
Spell ends if you do anything else or leave the range.
Yeah, for our first level spell, that's awesome.
Yeah, there's like a lightning whip between you guys now. So you want to roll a d12.
Whip him, Nene.
This is some Palpatine moves right here.
I got a 9.
That's really good. Actually.
9 is really good.
Yeah.
Well, frick. How do you want to do this?
Yeah.
Do you want to
Send him
describe?
to oblivion.
Do you want to describe how you just killed him?
We killed him?
Yeah, you
Let's
killed
go.
You book
We
and
found
electrocuted him to death.
We got that book bolt combo.
That's right.
Get learned.
Get learned. Oh my goodness, that's a T-shirt. Get learned.
So good. Ooh.
Did you want to describe it?
Hmm.
You don't have to.
I'm trying to think of a way to describe it using magic cards, but lightning bolt? I don't know.
Terminate. Straight terminate.
Terminate, yeah.
Or on OG terminate.
Yes.
I don't know.
As you dig deep into your kind of knowledge and magic that's boiling in your blood. You don't want to get caught again. You've been caught and summoned and caught and summoned and caught and summoned so many times that it's just kind of boiled out of you in this witch's bolt as you said the words and cast it forth. Um, you weren't expecting it to kill him. You didn't see how much damage he took from the book, but he's not moving anymore, and you are seemingly free.
We did it.
For the rest of you, what would the rest of you like to do? The yellow circle of teleportation is slowly diminishing.
Let's go bananas.
Is everyone still okay? I think we can still make it.
Let's do it.
Let's go.
As you all move to the teleportation circle and you're kind of looking around at each other and move to jump in all at once, you see the fingers twitch across the room. His whole body twitches for a second and makes a scramble as you guys are halfway moving into this circle. And the professor does one of those creepy quick zombie things where his head and one of his arms from the floor twitches to look at you, and with a intricate finger maneuver draws the magic from the teleportation circle, begins to draw it across the room towards you. And all of you feel, since you're already moving into the teleportation circle, you feel that those wisps of energy pulling away from you towards him, but it doesn't diminish the fact that you're also being pulled into this vortex of teleportation energy. You find yourselves in a strange phase where you're kind of intermingling with each other. Your lives, your memories, your souls, your sentience. It all kind of mixes in a curry. All the flavors getting in there together. And then as you pull apart, you can feel yourselves being shoved in different directions. You can't see it. All you see is a bright yellow light, but you can feel each other almost like there was an explosion in between you and all of you rocketed off in separate directions. Una, you wake up staring at a sky that is full of stars. Specifically, there are 8 in a pattern that kind of looks like a compass star. That's you. Una would recognize that. The air is just cooler than room temperature, so it's relatively comfortable without being super comfortable. And as you look around, you're laying on a squished mushroom. But it's not a natural mushroom that has been grown in this place. It's a mushroom that was put here to soften your landing. Or as some kind of bed, maybe. And you can see, standing about 9 or 10 feet away, is a small human child. He seems to be waiting patiently for you to sit up or talk or move.
Okay. So I sit up and I guess I try and talk to him.
Hi. I wasn't sure when to expect you, so I'm glad that I put that there. You came shooting out of the sky really fast.
You put it there?
Yeah, the I didn't want you to hit the floor and just squish. I've seen that happen.
How did you
It's not pretty.
How did you know I was coming?
That's a complicated question. I have a list, and it's pretty accurate. And I know when people need to be here, and sometimes how they're going to be here. But the good news is, you're the last one to arrive. So I can move you guys front stage.
Did you
And
happen to see a real goblin come through here?
I did, actually. I did see a real goblin. I don't know how you knew about him, but I was told none of you knew each other. That's lucky. Well, Una, if you are patient with me just 1 second, I'll make sure that you guys get where you're supposed to go. And as he's kind of walking off between two large Joshua trees, he says, I can't believe they got that wrong. Two of them know each other. And that's where we're going to end for tonight.
Yay.
Thank you guys very much. Thank you, Megan, for that and for going through that with me. You guys rock. You rock. You guys are MVPs. Thank you for volunteering. Yeah, I am super freaking stoked. I hope, Megs, that gave you a better idea of what to expect and some more thoughts for your character. Because I can't wait to see her doing her thing with the stories. I have another big test at work coming up, but I should be good for next week to start the big game with everybody.
Awesome.
This has been our last one shot. Yeah, I'm super freaking stoked. I'm gonna close this so I don't forget it. I have a credits video now, Mark. So I don't know how that would work for raids.
You can, like, how long is it?
2 minutes. The length
Okay.
of that song.
Okay, yeah. So once you start, and then when it gets to about the 150 mark, I'll start the raid because I know the song very well.
Okay. So thank you guys very much. If you want to hang out afterwards, we can talk. I need to get with you, Megan, I believe, to talk equipment, so that we can finish up the equipment part of your character, and then you'll be good to go too, and I think everybody's good to go. So I will be getting with folks this week, making sure everybody's good to go, and yeah, we should be good. So I love you guys. Make sure you drink water, be good, and I will see you soon. With that, I'm going to go to...
I need you closer than ever, ever than before. My life is wasted if I can't spend it all with you. I've lived in total darkness, now you're my only light. When you're away, I feel like a shadow in the night. Hold me, and look into my eyes. You'll be staying always by my side. I'll never let you go. No, I'll never let you go. You stay with me. I'll never let you go.
watching HM